Yo, yo, yo. This is Chris Blair. It's a hot and sunny day in Tokyo. Just finished my lunch. I'm sitting out here, just outside, enjoying the good weather, having some coffee. And today I want to talk about retargeting apps and why you shouldn't use them. I'll let people gather on this call here for a second. Just take a few minutes, a couple minutes to just relax and let people gather. So today's topic is going to be retargeting apps and why you should absolutely never use these apps, why it's not a good idea for your business. I strongly do not believe in these type of apps, and I want to talk about them and also why I think these apps are not something that you should use. There's a technical reason and there's a practical reason. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that here in a second. But let people gather on this call. In the meantime, if you haven't seen anything on my beta course, or you haven't been in the beta course and you haven't gone through the content, it's amazing. 15 webinars already completed my beta course, 40 videos. I'm doing a little more content and preparing the angle I'm going to take for this launch. We launch in September. So, private message, guys. If you can get value out of my beta course, let me point something out to you guys. One, Ken Anderson, 7-figure earner, right? So he's gotten value almost every single video he's seen in my course. Think about that. I mean, if a 7-figure profit earner for several years on Shopify can get value out of that, I believe you can too. Nick Fielding, 6-figure earner, has also says he's gotten incredible value out of the course. Domingo, right? Another 6-figure earner, he says it's an incredibly complete course and he's gotten a lot of value out of it. So, guys, I mean, these are profitable people who are successful in this business and they're getting value out of my course. 7-figure earner and 6-figure earner profit. I mean, profit, guys. I'm not talking about just sales, right? Because sales are one thing. All right, but profits what matter. Okay, so anyway, so let me dig into the main topic here, and that is why you shouldn't use retargeting apps, and why you should go ahead and set up your own feed. There are two reasons why, okay? But first let me point out one thing. Luckily today, there's an app called Pixel Perfect that makes setting up your own feed, it's the easiest it's ever been, ever. Back when I set up my Shopify store, my first Shopify store in 2015, my second one in 2016, I mean, I basically had to, to get the feed to work properly the way I wanted to, I had to pay a coder a developer to go in and really tweak and use Flexify to get them hard-coded the feed properly going on my store. So nowadays that's not necessary. Pixel Perfect is easy to use and you go set it up. When you set up Pixel Perfect, the one thing I want to warn you, make sure you go in and see, you have two places. They're going to ask you for your Pixel code, okay? Pixel Perfect is, okay? And you're going to want to put your Pixel code into Pixel Perfect to connect not only your Pixel, but your Facebook Pixel for tracking of sales and stuff like that. But you're going to also it's also going to set up your feed for you, right? You want to remove, this is key, guys, remove the code, the Pixel code number from the Shopify online preferences, okay? You don't want it in there twice. You don't want it in the online preferences and you don't want it in the Pixel Perfect. Now in theory, it shouldn't be an issue. You should be able to have them in both spaces and no problem. But in practical reality is on a lot of themes, and I've seen this through my coaching students and training students, a lot of themes, for some reason, the Pixel Perfect app is not perfectly set up for every single theme. And if you have the code in there twice, it'll create double fires, and that will screw up your Facebook data, which is really, really a bad thing. You don't want to screw up your Facebook data, okay? Because your ad account is optimizing based on that data, and the longer you run your ads and the more you in this business, the better it should be. That's the way the Facebook Pixel is designed, okay? So you don't want to do that. So, and it's just as easy to remove the code from the online preferences once you install the app, so in your Shopify store, so there's no point in having it in there twice, which leads me to reason number one why these retargeting apps are not a good idea. Okay, there's a second reason which is even better. Bum humming. There's a second reason why. Ken, anytime Kenny Steven gets up these live webinars, he says something funny or crazy to make me laugh and distracts me, but I love you, bro. Anyway, the second reason why is actually more important than the first reason, but let me go ahead and talk about the first reason. Anyway, the first reason is this. Okay, so these apps, okay, and they install a secondary pixel on your Shopify store. So now you have 2 Facebook pixels. Okay, now this is not a bad intention of the app developers. In fact, they have actually made some strides, and they've done a lot of tweaking, coking, and in many cases this has actually been solved. But there's a lot of themes where it doesn't interact properly, and again, that gets a situation with your Facebook data being messed up, and you could actually get double reporting or false reporting. I've seen cases of false reporting where literally phantom sales. Facebook believes there's a sale when no sale actually happened. Okay, so again, it's not that the app developers have bad intention or something like that, but it's just a technical issue that can sometimes happen, and they've strived over the past year or so to solve it, and in many cases they have solved it, but not in all cases. So I just think, well, I mean, why would you set up an app on your store that could create a secondary pixel, that does create a secondary pixel, that could create a technical problem, when you can easily just set up Pixel Perfect and have your feed going like that? Okay. Now here's the second reason. This is the most important reason. These apps that have limited capability, right? I mean, they only run one type of dynamic ad for you, right? But the reality is, if you go into your product catalog sales app set up in Facebook, there are numerous ways you can set up your targeting. You can have your targeting people who visit your store in the last 3 or 4 days and didn't purchase. You could break it down. You could run 20 different campaigns based on certain criteria, just for retargeting. Then you could run cross-selling, upsells, and I do all that on my store. So I have upsells and I have cross-sells. Okay, so your capability from just setting up your own feed just exponentially increases. So these days, it's easy to set up your own feed because of Pixel Perfect. Awesome app. My hat's off to those guys. And your capability goes up. And actually, the third reason, I didn't even think about this, but the reason is you're actually paying these app companies money to run your retargeting ads for you. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, you're paying a fee to them. So those 3 reasons, I just think you should stay away from those old retargeting apps. Okay. Yeah, Kenny just said exactly what I said. You're better off just running your Facebook ads yourself. Now, okay, so none of that addressed those issues. On that issues with that, I want to open the floor. Any questions? You guys can ask me any questions you want about Facebook ads, ecom, or anything like that. In the meantime, I'm going to make another push here. If you're interested in my private coaching, or you're interested in my beta course, get in. Guys, I have 3 big earners in my beta course. I'm going to repeat this again. Kenny Anderson, guys, 7-figure profit earner. Right? I'm going to be visiting next week in Canada. I'm going to be visiting with Ken, going to Vancouver to see him. He's in my course, and this guy says he's getting a lot of value out of the videos. Okay, Nick Field, another 6-figure profit earner. Domingo, another 6-figure profit earner. Right, guys, these guys are getting value out of this. I mean, what can our course do for you? 15 webinars so far, 42 videos, more coming. The launch is coming in September. So hey, get in when you can get in for less than half the price. When this launches, it's $2,500 because it's that awesome of a course. It also comes with a support group. I've been there, and actually what I love about this is because I'm keeping the price point kind of high, even for the beta price. It's not super cheap, but it's not $2,500. It's less than half that, but it's still a good chunk of change. It limits the amount of people who can be in the group, and it's exactly my strategy. I want to be able to give personal support to every person in the group. And by having a higher price point, I limit the numbers. And I've been able to, so far, the last few months, as this thing's been ongoing and people are testing out my system and method and kicking the tires, I've been able to answer basically every single question. I mean, maybe I missed 1 or 2, but I mean, I've answered every question in that group. And I think that's awesome to get that support. So you get all my ongoing support as well. I think that's key. And there's also a lot of other good, powerful marketers in that group. So, hey, I think it's an awesome course. Okay, that's it. Private message, interested in my course or coaching, and let's see, anyone want to talk, any questions about ecom, anything? We got some good people on here. Damien, how you doing, buddy? I see you've been lifting, man. I've been going to the gym too lately. Still got a little bit of beer belly, but I've been hitting the gym harder than I ever have been. Been going a lot, actually. Cool. Jimmy, Andrew, okay, awesome. Yep, Kenny, you're absolutely right. You're better off just doing your own DP ads. What's my favorite app? Wow, that's a good question. Okay, let me take a look at the apps I got in my store. I have a few that I like, but if you have to ask me my favorite one, I'm gonna answer that, Kenny. I have a few apps I really love, but let me just run down. I would say my favorite app is Klaviyo. It's got the most powerful mail system out there, period. I mean, I actually went away from Klaviyo because I thought I was going to save myself money, which is stupid. I actually lost money because with other mail application apps, I was just not making the same amount of sales I was with Klaviyo, so I went back to Klaviyo. Klaviyo's like making me. So like Klaviyo, let's see here. This guy's is a simple one, but you guys absolutely need it on your store. Image optimizer. You absolutely want to optimize all your images. You want to speed up your site. Site speed greatly affects conversion rate. I mean, we've really worked hard on our site, and we've got it just cranking as far as speed goes. So I mean, guys, site speed. So I would say Klaviyo and Image Optimizer are my two favorite ones. There's a new one that I'm beta testing, but unfortunately it's not open on the open market, so I'm not going to mention that one. I'm actually currently a beta tester on it, but it's an awesome app. And when it's actually open to the public, I will let you guys know. But a friend of mine reached out to me, he's the developer of that one, and that's an awesome app too, but I can't mention that. Cool? Kenny, what's your favorite app, buddy? So, any more questions? I know you're probably thinking to yourself, wait a minute, you said mail app, which is Klaviyo, yep, and then Image Optimizer. How can Image Optimizer be one of your favorite apps? Because, I mean, that's such a simple app, it just crushes the images. And guys, that tells you something, right? One of the things that we've really focused on is not Facebook ads, but to get our site just humming. Lay it out so it converts, and it's converting really well. I mean, I think we have one of the best converting websites out there for hats, t-shirts, bags. We're converting around 5%, which is astonishingly high for the product types that we have. I mean, so it's great. I mean, one of the reasons why is we worked on the layout, we split tested different layouts, buy buttons, site speed. We've gone in and tweaked. I mean, one thing that's great about Shopify is the open API. It's 100% open. So if you have a developer, which I luckily do on my team, I can afford to have a developer / designer who knows what he's doing with this. I mean, we have done so much customization. It's unbelievable, and our site is humming. I think it loads in 1.7 seconds. I mean, that's considering that we're using 100% high image resolution images and real photos as for testimonials on our site. They're all to make that happen, we really had to work hard. We used Image Optimizer, and we did a lot of tweaking on the coding. Lucky Orange, yeah, I have that one app too. Lucky Orange is a good one. The app that Kenny mentioned is called Lucky Orange. It allows you to monitor what people are doing on your site, and also has heat mapping, so you can see what sticking points might be on your site. That's a good app too as well. I use that as well. I just didn't think about it as being my favorite. All right, cool. If you're interested in my private coaching or my beta course, private message me, and I think I gotta go for now. Cheers, I'll see you next video.